What's going on, everybody? We do apologize for the slight delay, but you know how things have been going. A lot of craziness. Mr. Chris, how are you doing?
Doing good there, Joshua. Joshua. Just another day in the video game anime landscape.
That's right. And our topics for today will be the recent Well, pretty much it's kind of like our thoughts on the recent betas and demos. And the two games are going to be Resident Evil 4 Remake and Exoprimal. So, Mr. Chris, I'll let you start us off. You just decide whichever one you want to kick us off with.
I guess we could talk about Exoprimal first. Because I was actually surprised at that game and how fun it was when I actually got a chance to sit down and play I only got to play two matches before the beta ended. Basically I was 1-1, but it's definitely definitely an extremely fun game. It kind of, I'm not gonna say all the exo frames are really very distinct from each other. Some of them do kind of share kind of similarities with each other, but overall, I would have to probably say I would probably buy this. But I actually want to see like how teams are supposed to be built, because in the beta I was playing, you had people basically playing the same exo frames, no healer or no tanks and stuff like that. So I think I would have to see like how would you build a team in this game. Do you run like two tanks? Is it kind of like Overwatch where you run two tanks, two DPS, and then two healers, or can you run one tank, three DPS, one healer, stuff like that? But overall, the game is fun. Graphically, it looks good. The exo frames are, a lot of them are kind of different from each other. The support class definitely needs to be tuned a bit when it comes to the healing class. Like they definitely suffer from uh basically, I get where they're not supposed to be in mainstream combat, but people kind of play them like that, and they don't really function that well if it comes to like actual combat and stuff. But overall, I like the game. I think it's worth paying $60, well $70 at full price. I say, how about yourself? Because you played it probably more than I have.
Oh, I have, and I'll have to disagree on the support units. Some of those support units are, meant to be there. But I'll use an example. One I fell in love with was Skywave. She can damage units with her staff blast or heal teammates, so it's kind of vice versa. Then there's Nimbus, who is she can switch in between her healing guns or damaging
Okay, yeah,
guns.
that's the one with the twin pistols.
She can also warp to a different point with a decoy. It's very interesting. Like there's a lot of versatility with a lot of this stuff.
Right, yeah, like I said, I like the game, but cause I only got to play like the two matches before the servers went down.
Oh, I played as much as I could. That was probably at least maybe 10 hours worth. I will say I only played some of the newer ones because in the previous beta I tried out Zephyr, Deadeye, and all these others. Now the two tanks really surprised me. Krager, who basically just carries around a giant minigun. The first match I picked him up, I ended up getting the MVP, and my
Oh yeah,
goodness, he fires missiles that have a chance of paralysis on bigger target or on targets. It does in it will work on the other enemy exos. For those that don't know, Exoprimal has a lot of player versus environment game modes, which are random. Then the
yeah,
final stage is PvP, where the two
yeah.
teams and like you can actually kill somebody. Like in Overwatch, it feels like you've tried to solo something, it doesn't work out. But in this, it does for the most part, depending on what you're using suit wise and if you're being smart about the environment. But the other tank, Muramasa, is the samurai one. Really surprised me too because
That
that
that's the shield tank.
Well, that's the samurai thing. He's the his one ability where he swerves it. He goes into the just sword stance, swings around him. That's what used to get all the enemies' attentions or taunt them. Then you just activate his shield, and then he has a shield ability which you'll see around him. It'll gather up as so much damage comes in, hits it, do a counter that literally just a rising slash. You empower the katana and start doing extra damage even on crits. Man, it's for I will say for the upcoming this it looks great and everything, but it's my thing is how long's the story going to be? Because it doesn't need to be short. It does not need to do what Overwatch did, but this is definitely far from what Overwatch has done. So
Would you want them to do like what Destiny does, where it's kind of, you know, you get like DLC packs like every couple of months to continue the story?
no, I'm kind of more like the story up front, then they can just add on later because because it's so heavily PvE PvP. It there is a story. I don't want it to be just, oh, here's the game mode, here's your game, full $60, $70, 80. And yes, wingless $80 is a big drop, as you said, because that gives you everything, seasonal pass and all that, which I think is worth it. This is one of the few times I will say it's worth it up front.
I do have a question though. With the season pass, that means they're going to be dropping more exo frames.
Yes, there should be more. That would be my assumption, as there would be more exo frames dropping, like how Gundam Evolution is.
Mm-hmm.
I assume they're going to have more suits planned. This is just me speculating, but it would be silly for them not to. But it all depends on how successful this is. This definitely took the concept of like Anthem's suits and just threw it in Overwatch. Was like really cool because like I did like Anthem for what it was, but that never took off. So
Oh, no, I got 2 copies, so
do they even have the servers up for that anymore?
I think they still might be up because I bought it for the Xbox One, and I got it for PlayStation 4.
Hmm. I'll have to look into that later. But
I beat it on Xbox, and then it was kind of like really nothing to do after that.
yeah, that's what I've heard. It's pretty much just dropped and died. But I mean, overall, all the exosuits they've got quite a variety, and I mean they do what they're supposed to do, and they're designed well to do it.
I guess it just depends on what game mode you're playing and how you would, which exo suit you would
Yeah, you can
pick,
instantly
switch.
transform at any point in time to suit your needs, which I love because you
Yeah, that
can't
was
really do that in other games.
yeah, that was kind of cool. The fact that you could like hot swap your suits during the course of the game. I didn't like the one you liked. I didn't really like it too much with the Gatling gun.
That's understandable.
Because the only reason I didn't like it is the fact that you have to manually like purge the system before it could fire again, instead of it just kind of being like once you don't got it at max heat, it just automatically do it. I just didn't like that part because you would constantly have to keep track of it and then purge, wait for it to go all the way down, or wait for it to get low enough where you can use it again.
Yeah, well, that's why you're able to like use the missile launcher and like he has a dash, which is like really cool. And that's why out of like the equipment you can choose, I give him the drill. I gave him the drill arm.
I didn't know you could change equipment in the beta.
Yes, and that secondary a little selection up under there, you can give yourself like a extra shield, a healing gun, a powerful laser, or probably one of the best one of the ones I see most people use. It was the blade, which literally was just a slow moving shuriken in the air, which would freeze enemies or well shock them. Vigilant was really cool. She was the sniper one. And if
Yeah, she seemed pretty cool.
she, I was shocked at at how well she is, because she has one ability which she'll freeze one dinosaur or several dinosaurs. You shatter one, it does more damage to the surrounding ones or whatnot. She has a double jump.
She has a hover move too, doesn't she?
No, it's just a large jump. She gets quite the arc. She's able just get out of the way. But when you zoom in with her rifle, when she's not zoomed in, there's a burst rifle. When you zoom in, you let it charge up. It does about 300 damage. If you don't charge it up, it does about 50.
You can pretty much basically you can one shot people if you can get a headshot.
Depending on the unit's health.
If there's a dead eye, you can basically one shot them.
Yep, you have to hit the critical part though. The and she has one other one where she fires a mega shot, and her special is just pretty much her rifle's overcharged, and you can just dish out extra damage, which is really cool. Out of all the healers, Skywave's probably is the one I was talking about earlier. I love hers. One special, it's a singularity, literally a black hole. Throw it out there, everything just gets sucked into that one area and just stays there. Her overdrive or the special, literally is just a giant dome and freezes everything for a couple of seconds, and all your teammates plus yourself can do extra critical damage. It's there. I love what I'm seeing. I just don't want to see the. I'm fearful of like a short story mode, and then it just falls off, because like this is like one of Capcom's newest IPs in a while. That's it definitely is taking a risk.
Like that, cause I like it didn't look that interesting to me when I first saw it. But then I was like, "What?" I didn't know when you told me the demo was out. I downloaded it. And I said it's probably not gonna be that great, but it was actually pretty fun. Like the fact that you're basically competing against another team, and it basically keeps track of like you're completing objectives slower than the opponent's team, than the opposite team. And then once you get to the end, because I didn't know it. Once you got to the end of it, it was gonna go PvP. I just thought we were just going whoever could get to the end of the map the fastest. That's who was gonna win. Then all of a sudden the other team just showed up and started shooting it. I'm like, oh, I guess we're going PvP then.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how fast it would shift. It's like, oh boy.
And the fact that you can basically you can summon a dinosaur to take control of to basically cause havoc on the other team.
Yeah, the Devastators, that's definitely something interesting. And the various, depending on how far you're in, it'll be a carnivore, a Triceratops, or the T Rex. It varied.
Yeah, it was because I think I tried when I was in the practice mode. I did the Triceratops, which is not that great compared to the T Rex.
Yeah, that T
But
Rex, my God.
it takes so much to kill them, though.
it just depends on which one you're using, but my God, it was T Rex will like two shot somebody, three shot somebody, depending on who you're hitting or whatever.
I did kind of like that. I think they need to work on maybe the hit detection on certain things because you would get hit by a dinosaur and it would like juggle you in the air multiple times before you would actually be able to recover.
Depending on which one hit you, yeah, that was going to happen.
It's like, no, that's not fun.
It's going to happen, man.
But it would definitely be worth the $70. Is it $70 now for games?
No, it's 60. Some haven't jumped. Some of them haven't quite jumped up there yet. I feel like the
It
more premium type games are going to though.
yeah, but it's worth $60. I would say definitely, especially if they're going to support it and we're going to get more exo frames.
Right. So here's hoping it's There's more to
Don't
come because I've gotten the taste, Capcom. I've tasted this. I want more. Give me
don't do it.
more.
Don't be like DNF.
Yeah,
They
it's
kind
had
of just dropped off the map, and what almost a year and a half later, we're finally getting the first new characters. But
something like that. Yeah, it's pretty strange.
honestly, I guess you kind of can say it's like I guess everybody's trying to go to that whole play style now. They're trying to copy Overwatch.
I mean, it's successful. The formula for it is, anyways. It's just Blizzard just can't figure out how to do it right. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the better take on it, as far as I will say.
Well, I have to wait to see how their little roadmap gonna work.
They
Because the
already put.
problem with, because the problem if they go like Blizzard, where basically you have to you pretty much have to pay to get the new characters and stuff like that.
Or remember
It's gonna
during the
be
beta, we were earning in-game currency. It was called Bitcoin.
yeah.
So there is a chance just to buy the suits outright.
But are they gonna do like what most of them do, where you can buy it in game. It's gonna cost you 3 times more than it would if you would just go buy it with cash.
I don't think so. If Capcom's smart about it, I mean, overall, Capcom's been making good moves as of late. So let's just see. This is just still a wait and see. It's got potential. We got to wait and see what happens in July. That's the biggest thing.
Oh,
Maybe,
it's still got a while. So it still got a while before it hits that.
right. I'm trying not to gas this up too much, but I'm like, this is pretty impressive. You got me. My teeth are synced in.
And the fact that they're launching it with crossplay instead of just waiting,
Yep, that's the
which is
biggest
probably
thing.
the best thing. Which I think a lot of games are going to have to start doing.
Yeah, that is definitely what they need to start doing. But we'll soon see.
Yep, you're correct on that one. So basically, I guess you say I would give it a nine out of 10.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10, just because of room and improvement and all that. So it's like, all right, we'll see where the rest of this goes.
I say I might have gave it the same score if I had put more time into it. Like I said, it was just for them first 2 games, the only 2 games I got to play. It was extremely fun, and I could see why this would be like a party game where you can invite friends and y'all all get together, make your own team,
Oh,
and then
definitely.
once people figure out how to stack their teams to make them strong, it's like this game is gonna get really competitive.
Maybe we'll see. I definitely see it getting a lot of love, like Overwatch. We'll see. It's definitely going to have a big player base, I believe.
I think a lot of people going from Overwatch are actually gonna get attracted to it.
I hope so. I mean, it's got all the vibes and everything.
It just depends on how Capcom does the DLC for it.
Well, they put out the map and all that, or a map of it. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. I say you want to head into the next topic.
All right, folks. For like the greatest game ever known to mankind to be made, Resident Evil 4 is getting a remake. So, Mr.
Yep,
Chris, did you play the chainsaw demo?
yep. I played it probably when I got home from work today.
All right, go ahead. Tell us all your thoughts.
It's Resident Evil 4 with Resident Evil 4 with definitely a graphical overhaul. Uh, the system it's still everything still works like the original game. The only thing that I noticed about it was like it takes a little more to basically trigger like a knockback move. The targeting system is a little wonky. Even when you turn on the aim assist, it seems like it makes it harder to aim. And the one thing I really hated about the demo, and if that's going to be in the game, it's definitely going to be hard for me to get past it, is the fact that you can break the knife. I'm
Well,
like, that was the weirdest thing when I was playing it. Cause I was like, you would do like uh, a stab animation, and all of a sudden you would try to use the knife again, but the knife is broken. And I'm like, I don't remember that from the original Resident Evil 4 that you would break your knife. because a lot of times that's the only weapon you got sometimes when you're out of bullets or you're trying to conserve ammo. And now it's like they're making it. I guess they're doing it to try to make it more intense on you to feel like it's okay. I have to be really strategic when I use my knife now. I can't just use it all the time. But like I said, it's even though you only play like the first the intro level to the game, but honestly, it's still Resident Evil. It's just Resident Evil 4 with a graphical upgrade. Would I pay $60 for it? I can't say I would pay $60 for it. They did change some things here and there when you go into like the village at the beginning, but maybe if it was $40, that would definitely be a pickup. But it's something I would wait maybe a year to pick up. Get like Game of the Year edition or something like that. But I wouldn't. I don't know if I would pay $60 for it. Well, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, here's a little interesting trivia. There was a extra. It was random by chance. You would get a chainsaw mode, but if you held L1, R1, and it was like a small Konami code, you could always get that mode. They inserted some nice Easter eggs. There's a TMP you could find in there, which I thought was really cool. I did find that on one run. That was kind of to help you defeat the chainsaw guy, but overall the demo is definitely a good experience. Everything looks great, and I understand your complaint about the knives being breakable and all that, but that's something they carried over from Resident Evil 2 remake and all that. So that was I was wondering if they were going to be doing that or not. But it's just something you're going to have to be a bit more cautious with when it comes to using it.
Yeah, but that was the whole thing about Resident Evil 4. Like you don't really get a lot of ammo in that game.
I don't know what you're talking about because, like, that man,
Once
I
you
was.
yeah, once you start crafting, yeah, you get the materials and stuff. But that when you get to that first opening level, it's like it takes so many rounds to put somebody down.
Well, that's why you're supposed to use the uh, area to your advantage. That's their biggest thing. That's what I learned. It was that or die, and I died enough times. Like, all right, I don't have enough to kill all of you, so I have to
No,
go.
I think I died about 3 times until I got to that fourth playthrough, and then I just basically ran the whole time.
I was like, yeah, that's pretty much what you had to do is run. It's like, all right, I've had enough of all y'all. All right.
The AI seems a little more aggressive though.
Oh, they're very aggressive.
Uh,
They're
I tell you, what is it about? It takes about I think 3 direct headshots to basically kill somebody.
yes.
Body shots are kind of useless because unless they're coming at you, all you're gonna do is stagger. All you're gonna do is stagger them. I knew it was something was missing off the gun. It's the laser sight's not on there.
That's something you probably have to get on there.
Yeah, but I remember that just being like automatically on there from the beginning. Or maybe because I haven't played it. Cause honestly, that's Resident Evil 4 is the only Resident Evil I ever finished out of all of them. That's the game, the only one I really liked and actually played all the way to the end. All the other ones, Resident Evil 5, got all the way to the chain gun when you're on the back of the Jeep firing the chain gun and then just never went back to it. I
So
got I got 6 and 7 on the shelf, haven't played them.
they're definitely fun. Just gotta have somebody to play them with.
Yeah, because for some reason Capcom just does not seem to want to program the AI to be smart when it's on your turn, on your team.
Well, you gotta remember those games are old too, so I'll cut a little slack for that.
Now I'm not gonna cut a little slack for Resident Evil 5.
You'll be all right.
Sheva was insufferable in that game. She would make me not want to play that game. The fact that you're having to babysit the AI like that.
I gotta babysit myself. I had to do this with Ashley. It's like, ah.
Well, that is one change I do like that they did with her, where she can actually fight off zombies now instead of you always having to run and keep your eye on her. Because that was the biggest parts of Resident Evil 4 I didn't like was the fact that it was just really just one big escort mission.
It got Resident Evil 4 got better to me when like you could give her the suit of armor after you unlocked it, and people would try to carry her off, and she would just crush them because of how heavy the suit was. I'm like, Capcom, you better still have that in there. It's my only warning.
I don't think they'll probably pay homage to it. Well, oh, like I said, the game really hasn't seemed like it changed too much. It's just like it just looks better.
It definitely looks a lot better.
Yeah, it's like that's why I just like I don't know if I could pay $60 just for a better looking Resident Evil 4.
Well, I mean, it is a complete overhaul and new system and all that. So I mean, it's definitely going to sell. People are going to buy this.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna sell, regardless. Regardless of whether or not it's basically the same game with a graphical upgrade, people are gonna buy it because people love Resident Evil 4, probably more than the original ones.
Yep. Definitely. I mean, Resident Evil 4 like really just rewrote the map on Resident Evil.
Even though what's his name? Who was it? Shinji Mikami is the one that did 4.
I think so. Don't quote me.
Yeah, I think it was him because he left Capcom because he didn't want him to port it from the what was the GameCube to the PlayStation, and basically laid a demand that if they ported it, he was leaving. And as soon as they did it, he left the company.
Well, that's understandable.
And yeah, but he had to understand the company. They trying to make money off the game.
Yes, that is that's an essential thing is to have money.
And like, yeah, it's so good on the GameCube, but guess how much it'll sell on the PlayStation?
I mean,
So,
it did sell well on the PlayStation. I bought it.
oh, I bought it too. I wish I still had my original copy, because I'm pretty sure it's probably worth something.
Especially the chainsaw controller.
And I just had the regular one. I never really bought the little specific add-ons and stuff like that.
That GameCube controller. I kind of wish I did buy that years ago. Oh, so cool.
Well, now, cause I skipped it because I did not play the GameCube. I didn't have a Nintendo 64, a Sega Saturn. Like I didn't start playing again until the PlayStation 1 came out. So I had skipped over a whole generation of stuff.
That's understandable.
Now I say, Super Mario Sunshine, like never played it. GoldenEye, stuff like that. Yeah, I was like, nah, didn't play it.
You're missing out. We're gonna have to get you to play some of these old school stuff on stream or something. You won't. You will not be disappointed.
I was gonna buy it. I was like Resident the original one. It's on PlayStation. I think for like $10.
I believe so.
But I'm like, well, ain't no point to buy that one if the remake is coming out.
This is true. I have feelings. Well, that's all. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but might be a good thing to have both of them.
Yeah. Especially for a lot of the just to go back, play with friends and need be, embarrass them.
I was like, we gotta get you to sit down anyway to watch the rest of Stampede.
Maybe.
I think you do, because you're the only one that's watched any episodes of it.
A couple, and I'm like, I don't want to watch anymore. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you got to, because you might review it one day.
Listen, I don't.
Cause right,
Go ahead.
cause right now, I'm currently just going back through Witch from Mercury, the dub version, and I think what am I? I think they're on episode. Which episode was this? I left off on. It's right after she beats Gil for the second time. I think that's
Hmm.
episode 5, 4 or 5.
I think so.
Yeah, but I'm happy to report that it is actually satisfying.
Oh, well, I would hope so.
I don't know. They Bandai for I don't know something about Bandai when it comes to Gundam. Like they really pick good voice actors for the English part because every single voice actor in there fits the character they're portraying. Even though I hate the fact that they used what's his name uh was it Chris Sabat does the voice of Vegeta.
I think so.
Yeah, he's Gyul's father.
Huh. Interesting choice.
It's because you could tell like as soon as he opens his mouth, you're like, oh, it's Chris Sabat. Because his voice is just so synonymous and unique with Vegeta. You hear it so much.
Oh, indeed.
But I do. I like all the English voice cast for it. I think all of them do a good job. I think the voice actress that plays the main character, I think she does. I think she thinks she does a better job than the Japanese voice actor does with her.
It's usually sometimes how it may go for certain characters. Just some people fit a role better than others.
What's the one? Cause it's the one Japanese voice actor. I think she does the English and the Japanese voice for the character.
I know who you're talking about. I forget her name, but she's one of the very few that does that.
Okay, but that's from a different anime that I need to get back to. What's the Tomo-chan is a girl.
Oh god, that one.
Yeah, I started trying to watch it, but I'm like, this is really boring.
There's one friend saw someone post clips of you and I should probably check out. It's like dad buddies or something. And I was just the segment of screenshots I saw were so impactful. I was like, all right, I got to kind of watch this. It's like buddy dads or dad buddies. Definitely look it up. We should definitely like review that one. Because the scene I saw, it's like this mother wants to come back into the girl's life. The two dudes are like, yeah, but you weren't there for her. We understand you went all through this bull crap, but you're still being very selfish in what you're saying. So, like, you can go off, madam.
Like, yeah, what's the one? It's like a 12. It's a 12-minute anime, but it's like it's one of those itchy animes.
Oh, Lord. Mundo, no. No maid outfits for Leon. No. Dear God. I can't.
Did he? I forgot what it because I forgot all the costumes he had in the game because it's been so long since I played that game.
He's had, the most I always remember is the gangster one or whatever. He does a little hat twirl with it, too.
Yeah, is what's the name? I had to look that up and see if she's in this game. She should
Ada,
be.
Ada Wong, yeah, she is.
Yeah,
They'll be dumb of her not to be.
yeah. I wonder if they're gonna do the separate ways story where you play as her sometime.
If they're smart, they would have. It was part of the uh, PlayStation 2 version.
Yeah, but you know how purists are.
I mean, if it's not there, I'll be upset. Like, as all right, here's a minor gripe for me. Sue me for this one, whatever. I don't care. But I'm like the achievement for like trying to look at Ashley's skirt or whatever was always funny to me, and what she did to Leon was funny. That got cut. I'm like, this isn't really a true remake then. But whatever, that's minor.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. This is 2023. That's toxic masculinity.
Sir, don't make me come over to your house and hit you with a 2x4. That's made out of styrofoam.
But I know that's why they did it because you can tell even with Street Fighter Six, when they showed Cammy, I'm like, and she does her final win pose, I'm like, yeah,
They
I,
didn't they didn't nerf that, sir. They enhanced that.
yeah. When
You
she, when she does the thing when she turns her back and she sticks her hand right where her butt would be it.
that's you got to understand. That's an enhancement. That's an enhancement, sir. I feel like you're missing something, sir.
Nah, they did that because they know they're gonna put that classic costume in there.
Okay, I hate to be the spoiler here. It already got spoiled back in June of her
Oh
original
no,
outfit, or no, her Street Fighter 4 out. No, her original outfit basically.
I know. That's why I know though why they did her pose like that to basically cover herself.
That's that's not even covering, man. Man, yeah,
Like
me,
you,
I'm gonna have to talk to you about how censorship works. That ain't no censorship. That's like, oh, here's a hand. I'm like,
well,
madam,
they already caved when Street Fighter Five. They what's name? They censor Mika's her super butt slap.
yes, that was annoying.
They
That's about the only
they
thing I.
they censor Jury putting on the little under tight up under her gear.
I think
Cause
that
I'm
was
like,
a part of her
no,
gear.
mm, when it originally came out, it was completely open right there, and then they patched it to put like a little tights up under it. Hey, nah, trust me, I know Jury.
Yes, I know all too well, Mister Feet. Don't even get me started. I will expose you on the internet. I've seen your profile pictures of her.
No, I keep it classy. I never understood that with people when it came to.
What, the feet?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's some side science for everybody. Your motor controls for like your hand movements and feet movement and all that is like right beside the pleasure center where all the signals and all that go. So sometimes a little cross wiring or whatever you want to say will happen. That's why that happens. Yeah, that's like literally the best way to explain it.
I'm sorry, I still just don't get the foot fetish with her. It's a 3D. It's a 3D character. It's not a real person.
You're man, you've been on the internet long enough. You know people are that listen, men or women, they're obsessed at times. Don't even act surprised. You they want somebody to step on, and she does that.
Oh, I think Mondo said, "What's it, Sally?" What was that? I cannot read Japanese names.
Let's see here. Let's see, Sally Akime.
It's the voice.
I mean,
That's probably the that thing he's referring to the voice actor that does the Japanese and English voices.
yep, that's who. I
Cause
believe
she,
so.
yeah, cause I have to actually look her up again. Cause I need to see what all she's in. Because I pretty much went back and got High Dive. Cause that was basically one of the cheapest anime streaming services.
Huh.
I think it's only like $5.
I have to look into that.
Yeah, I'm probably tempted to go back to Crunchyroll.
Don't do it. Don't you do it? I swear to God.
I know because I've had all of them at one point in time. But I had High Dive, Funimation, Crunchyroll, and Retro Crush all at the same time. And even with all those together, I think it was $25 a month.
It's too much.
Like yeah, but now since Funimation has bought them, it's kind of like, which I gotta look into that because I'm trying to figure out what exactly did Funimation buy because Funimation still has their streaming service going on, but they also streaming all that stuff over on Crunchyroll. So what's the point of you streaming stuff over on your website?
Good question.
I think they're still doing like it seems like they're still doing like certain animes that are not on Crunchyroll are still over there on Funimation. Even though when I go to my thing on Funimation, it basically tells me to I need to start an account with Crunchyroll. So I'm assuming that they're gonna phase out Funimation's website.
Possibility.
But I'm just not sure how they're doing it because they're not really being real clear about what's what's gonna be where. But I guess they just what kind? Because I never had when I had Crunchyroll, I never had my information leaked or anything like that. So I never really had a problem with that right there. But I know that's been a security issue, definitely been one of their main problems.
Oh, you would be right.
But I think that's probably about all of them.
No,
And
I never had that issue with oh, excuse me, with Retro Crush back in the day.
like, no, I've never had. Well, no, because I did cancel my Retro Crust, and they still charged me. But they did once I sent them an email and stuff. They did refund it after a couple of days. But and Witch from Mercury is streaming on Crunchyroll,
Oh dear.
which is kind of because Bandai doesn't have a streaming service. I think they just license their stuff out.
They probably do. It's more money for
That's
them.
yeah, I about to say that's more money for them, but they just license, which is probably why a lot of these streaming services now just starting to figure that out. And they were making way more money just licensing their stuff out than they were just trying to have their own streaming service. And I'm still irritated because the UI on Crunchyroll is still garbage.
Well, it's always going to be garbage.
And but it's the same thing with High Dive too because they don't have where you can just skip the intro or just hit a button and just go to your next episode or something like that. Like you have to manually do everything.
Yeah, I'm still not. I'm not surprised at them not. Excuse me, I can't speak today. Dear God, that being the way it still is.
Which is why I don't understand why people just don't copy Netflix.
That's too easy. Plus, there might be patents in the way too.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing money can't fix. Grease a couple of palms.
True. Well, I think that'll pretty much wrap up this episode. I think it's kind of one of our shorter ones.
I mean, cause we had to get back into it.
Yep. But folks, go ahead.
And let's see, is that the anime you were talking about? It's already out.
Yes.
It's fully out, or it's still got a couple more episodes to got a premiere.
No, I think it still has more episodes. I'll have to check into it. I'll definitely DM you about it later.
Okay. I say we definitely appreciate y'all coming through, Mondo.
Thank you, Mondo, Wingless. Definitely appreciate y'all and everybody else that are
I didn't
lurking.
see Wingless in there. Definitely, yes. I don't want to forget him.
That's my Canadian friend. Gotta have some Canadian friends. They're okay.
I'm hoping to take a trip up there one day.
Just be careful if you go to Quebec. I don't know why. It's just that place just always seems bad to me every time someone talks about it to me. Not saying it is, just what everybody says. All right, folks.
It's gonna be the second one after I go to Japan.
Oh, understandable. All right. Well, everybody have a good night. We'll catch y'all later.
Peace, y'all.